Hi, what I'm going to look at here is the technique for shooting in football. With the laces, aiming for power and accuracy. Generally, this technique is used for shooting from long distances because it generates more power, usually at the cost of accuracy, depending on obviously the quality of the individual who's shooting at goal. Um, just off the bat, I want to say that neither of these two clips are I would say, textbook technique for shooting from long distances with your laces. But I felt that it would be good to compare the attempt by the subject to use their right foot, which is their stronger foot, the top image, with their left foot, their weaker foot, and it'll be very evident the limitations they have. And in this video, the limitations are mainly due to a lack of motor skills. Um, you could argue there are some capacity issues there also, but mainly definitely lack of motor skill. So let me just play it through so you can see the attempts. Um, so you'll see the first one and the right foot, and the second one the left foot. So if I take this back, so basically the first point of criticism on the form. Now, if we just say the first attempt at the top was was the better attempt, why? Let me just play it slowly. So the run up is at a good angle to begin with. This angle when you're shooting, especially from a stationary ball, is preferable because it allows for one, a slightly longer run up, and two, the angle at which he's coming at the ball allows him to also get some rotational power in his strike. Okay, so let me just play that through really slowly. It gives me a longer run up. When he plays, because he's facing approximately, let's say what, between 30 and 40 degrees away from directly facing the goal, he will have to swing his leg through. That swing towards the center of mass will allow for extra power to be generated. And the follow through as well is very high. Again, I would say final height is just about hip height, which again is the ideal for shooting if you're trying to generate power. And the follow through is also an indication of how much power has been generated, as opposed to a consequence of, as opposed to how you generate power. It's a consequence of generating that power. So it's a good indication of good technique. Stability, balance wise, it's good. Slightly lean to the left arm up for balance. To obviously change the position of your center of mass, so you can maintain all the force he needs to put through the strike. Okay, now yes, the accuracy needs a bit of work, but that is also due to at which point he struck the ball. If you see, he didn't strike the ball dead on center of the ball. He struck the ball slightly off, which is the reason why the ball went to the right. But all in all, the attempt, he's got all the pieces right. Just the moment of contact is a bit off, but the run up is good. Angle of run up is good. Balance, poise, it's there. Backlift could be better, but again, that is something that comes with practice. But if we look now at the second attempt with the weaker foot, it'll be much more obvious what he did in the first video in terms of angle of run, follow through, body position, in terms of keeping the center of mass as close to the ball as possible. Why that was so important. So on the second video, you can see straight away that his run up position is wrong, in that it's too close to the ball, not allowing for him to approach the ball with the proper amount of strides. to allow him to implement the proper technique. This is common with players shooting with their weaker foot because it's an unpracticed. They have got very low familiarity with the skill. Some players can transfer what they do with one side of the body to the other, but with this subject it's quite difficult. So if we start playing it, oh, there you go, start going. So just bear with me a second. So yes, so his run up again is shorter. The angle is not as great, which will reduce how much rotational force he can add to his leg swing. And you will see that a consequence of that lack of rotational force will also result in less power be generated on the ball. As he comes to strike the ball, you'll see that he's a lot more vertical in his torso, and he's not as lent to the side as he is in the top video. That again will reduce how the force is transmitted from one side of his body to his leg and into the ball. He's a lot straighter on when he strikes the ball. Area of contact on the ball is actually quite good on this one, but as you can see, the follow through is not as high. Play that one through. If you look at his back, his right arm on the top video is much higher. Again, indication of proper technique and how much power he's generated. All these follow through movements are good indications of that. The bottom picture, left arm is really low down. That's again due to poor motor skills in executing the correct movement patterns to get the most powerful shot available to him. I don't believe any of these issues are capacity issues at the moment in time. Yes, you could say that his left leg is not necessarily, his left side is not as strong as his right side in terms of capacity to generate force in terms of the musculature, but before all of that, the form is so inferior compared to his right side that alone will drastically decrease how much power he puts into the shot. So as you can see, the shot barely even gets off the ground. So you can see if I play it quicker, much less power in that shot, as opposed to this shot, which has got much better form, better backlift as well. If you look at the backlift on both shots, you'll see that his leg is barely off the ground. And then the top picture, although not textbook in terms of how much backlift he could wish to employ, much better. Backlift being how far back and high the striking leg is behind the body. This one is about 90 degrees, whereas I say in the left foot is definitely below 90 degrees. The exact angle is difficult to say from this view, but you'll see that the backlift is not great. Again, you use so much power, and this comes with practice. Okay, hope that was insightful. And even if you look at his torso, his posture as well, he's still folded up on that one, on the bottom one. Again, reducing the expression of the force on the ball. The force is all getting bunched up into his body, as opposed to translating through his body into his leg and into the ball. Right. So that's that for motor skill in terms of improper movement strategy for striking a ball in football.